Look, there's no denying it. China didn't really go to plan for me. But, you know, we'll learn from that. We've made changes, and we'll make sure that we're stronger here. What changes did we make? I sacked my weather guy, that's one thing. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing. It is round 3 today of our 4th season at the Imola track in San Marino, and it is, well, it's a bounce back race for us, me personally, isn't it? Last race, of course, China, a little bit of a mix up with the weather. Yeah, don't want to go over it again, but that was just really, really disappointing. Pierre Gasly, though, managed to win the race. So from a team perspective, we're still looking quite good. Now, we've got a message here. What is this message? We think our performance currently sits in the pecking order. So we're still top. Now, we don't have that much more we can develop. What that means is everybody else is going to sort of slowly catch us up. And, well, eventually, I mean, it might get to a case where everybody is roughly level, in which case it's going to come down to my driving, which might see us just drop down the grid a little bit. But anyway, let's have a look here, see what we can do in between races. We've got a durability department focus. What we don't need is research points. We have 14,500 of them. Gasly, do we want? I don't know if I want him any faster, if I'm completely honest. So let's do this e-racing event, which, considering that's what I'm doing, might help me in some way. Secondary sponsor venue opening. Yeah, we can do that. It gives us 2 days in which we can do a marketing strategy conference. That all looks good. Sounds boring, but I'm sure it benefits the team in some way. Facilities. Now, we don't have any money to upgrade facilities, but we saw last time around that sort of when we were going off to China that a bunch of stuff upgraded. You can see aerodynamics, a lot of stuff there is level 3. Same with the chassis, and durability and powertrain have gone up to level 3. The fabrication part of those departments, I guess, as well. I should probably turn my phone off, shouldn't I? All right, that won't happen again. Now, if we go and have a look here, now we can see there's a little bit of work we can do on the powertrain, and there's a little bit we can do on durability. You can see Mercedes and Red Bull are very, very close to us now, though, aren't they? Let's go and have a look here and see. It looks as though this is going to be locked still. So what do we need to do to get piston rings around here? That's obviously something that needs to happen. And okay, so we do have some durability stuff we can do now. So we can get the gearbox failure analysis. So that is good. Let's get that. Actually, I probably should have rushed it, shouldn't I? Because we have all the points in the world. And there is another one here, which is the ICE analysis failure. Now, if I rush it, is it just... Oh, it's just a higher... No, it's not going to make any difference. There's a higher failure chance, and it's not going to be ready for this next race anyway, so we'll just do the standard. That's all well and good. And there is another one down here, is there? Yes, there is. Turbo analysis. So it's just analysis failure, basically. But this is going to move us right forward when it comes to durability, which is excellent. So that is that, and then we're done. We go and have a look. It's just those upgrades that are in process and the progress history. You can see Red Bull's taken a step forward. Aston Martin is at the green line. That looks like they've taken a step forward as well, but they're still obviously way below us. So, yeah, I mean, it is all coming together, isn't it? We can see there everything is in relatively good nick. 26% wear on the turbo, but it's not too bad yet. The gearbox is fine, and if we go and have a look at the corporate side of things, we need to get to level 25 acclaim, and you can see at the top right. Is it stage right, or is that your right? I'm not sure. But anyway, where it says 23, so we're still not quite where we need to be there just yet. Contracts, GASLY 99 rated. The driver market, nothing has changed there. Finances, we've invested absolutely nothing, so that is just down to running costs. The money mountain begins to climb back. And if we go and have a look at the standings, as a reminder, Sergio Perez leads the championship by a point ahead of Gasly and 11 points ahead of myself. And we can see there, we're 6 points ahead of Red Bull, and then it really is a bit of daylight back to everybody else. AlphaTauri in 4th, look like a better team this year. Season results, we can see there, Gasly 2 fastest laps. He is just looking scary good right now. Perez missed the consistency with 2 seconds. That's the reason he's leading the championship. If we go and have a look here now, last season was our first season at Imola. We came 7th. We need to do a little bit better than that this season if we are going to get ourselves into a title race with at least Pierre Gasly, if not Perez and a couple of others. And I don't think we raced Imola before that, did we? No. So that is that. The rivalry with Ricardo, well, we're all tied up. I pretty much swept the floor in Bahrain. He swept the floor in China, so we're tied at 10. And the driver details, we can see them there. Not much has changed since last race, except for I've driven a few more kilometers now. So let's go and sim ahead, and hopefully everything will go smoothly for us. We've attended the esports event. We've opened some sort of venue. Marketing strategy conference is done, and we are heading off to Imola. Alright, so we've got the weekend preview there, again with the track map that you can see. Weather forecast, there's a 50% chance of some rain towards the end of the race, but that will hopefully be okay. And I think we learnt from last time around, we are just going to ignore that because, yeah, well, it says there the race is going to be sunny. So I'm going to do free practice. I'll see you for qualifying one, and hopefully we could do a little bit better here than we did at China. Alright, free practice is done. Would you believe I did GASLY 2 of the 3 sessions? So GASLY did top FP3 and FP1. I was on the medium, he was on the hard. So FP2 though, I beat him only just, but we do look very competitive here. Ferrari look competitive, as do AlphaTauri, and Red Bull is up there as well. So it should be an interesting qualifying session. I would expect us to get into Q3, but let's see if we can actually go and do that. Looks a little overcast, like it might rain. It was a 50-50 chance, you might remember. So that's P5. I might just go again here just to be safe, I think. If I can actually turn into turn 1, that'd be a promising start, wouldn't it? Still wasn't particularly good through there, but it was better. Not particularly nailing any of my corners here, but you can. The fact that it's still not been a great lap and we're up is telling, isn't it? Six, 7/10 of a second up now.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Didn't take that particularly well. Losing time all the way down here. So, I mean, that's going to be more than enough now to get us through, but not completely convincing. So it was enough to get us through in 12th. I'm looking at my medium idea now. If we did it at the same time on a medium, I don't think it's... Everyone's a little bit too close, aren't they, I think, to risk it. So it was a touch-and-go strategy. We'll just go longer on the softs. Anyway, off to Q2 we go. Alright, so that's a bit of a dodgy exit, but here we go to start our first run in Q2. And I might just need to concentrate a little bit here because it is so close between the top cars. That's better, that's better. Alright, I can sort of a brief... it's a really weird track, a fun track to drive, but it's sort of... Really, you do need to concentrate quite a bit as well. Oh no. That was terrible. That's cost us a lot of time. We're going to need to be in the 12s, aren't we, to get through, I would suggest. Now, of course, we don't want to overuse the tyres. We'll have to start on them. That is P4. No, that's not good enough, though. 14. Alright, here we go. Second run on a fresh set of tyres. This is our last fresh set of tyres we've got. And we just need to... I think I just need to just not try and drive too fast, to be honest. Just good on doing in free practice. That was fine. Of course, the problem is in free practice, no one's watching, are they? So I don't feel like I need to show off. Hopefully it hasn't damaged the floor. Too deep in there. Bad exit, and we're losing time. Fairly nice. It's all about the exit there. It's a lot of time we have. I still don't feel like I've nailed this lap. I always feel like I'm going too conservative now. Tell you what, I need to be a lot quicker than what we're going to get through this session. We were going so well in free practice. And suddenly we're under a little bit of pressure to get out of this session. Only P10, we're going to have to go again here. And this is less than ideal because now we're going to have to start on more used tyres. So this may not have much talking. I've got to actually just try and do a lap. So that's better. That's better. Alright, now we're cooking with gas. This is much, much better. Can I finish it off? Stay to the inside, and P3, that's more like it. So in the end, GASLY has to go onto the softs. He tops the session by a long, long way, but we're only a few hundredths. Yeah, hundredths off of Hamilton in second, so not much improvement needed to get there. Ricciardo has been knocked out, so that's our on-track rival. Beaton McLaren look like they're struggling this weekend, don't they? Anyway, Q3, here we come. We're already on the back foot with a sort of slightly older set of tyres. So let's hope we can, well, get on the front foot again by getting on the front row. And this is not the start to Q3 that we wanted. It's only a short session. We're out for 4.5 minutes. Jesus. So, of course, what that has meant is that we only really now have time to do one run or one set of tyres. So, there was no... I wanted to try and do a banker on the set from Q1, but obviously that's not going to happen now. Missed the apex. Oh, god damn that. Of course, we can run this set of tyres into the ground if we want. If we need to do a second lap, then so be it. This is obviously going to be the best of the tyre, though. But I'm not doing a great job of it. Done a purple first sector though. Don't know what GASLY has done. If he was on, we wouldn't be on a medium now, would he? I don't know. No delta to go off of either. It's not felt too bad. It's not felt particularly quick though, but sometimes I think I try and go too quick and it slows me up. Alright, let's see what we've done. And see if we need to go again. P2! Well, let's go again just for the hell of it. Alright, so we are going to go again. I decided we'd just do a cool down lap though, just to try and cool the tyres and that down. I don't know if it makes any difference or not, but that's what they do in real life, so I thought that's what we'd try. So a 1/10.5 we need to get ahead of Pierre Gasly here. Do we have it in the car? Well, if I can match the rest of the lap, we've already got it. Purple first sector. Can I keep the rest of the lap together now? That's the big question. Will GASLY go faster? I can't really control that, can I? I can only do the best lap I can do, of course. How was that not faster? Losing time. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, does it? Good exit. No, it's tyres, I think, just weren't quite there for another lap. Well, I did not expect this. Pierre Gasly has not got pole. It's gone to Sergio Perez. We've got 5 cars inside a tenth and a half of each other. The entire top 10 are within just about half a second. This race is going to be intense.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, with Pierre Gasly alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Oldtimer and Sainz, Bottas, Stroll, Tsunoda and Charles Leclerc, Norris, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso and Ocon, Russell, Giovinazzi, Christian Lundgaard and Nicholas Latifi, Joe, Schwartzman, Mazepin and Mick Schumacher. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Alright, so it is P5. We know what tyres we're starting on. It looks like lap 7 is when we can go to. Obviously, strategy is limited because of we got into Q3, and well, yeah, this is going to be an intense race. Let's hope that I'm consistent enough, can maybe pull off a move or two. Not the easiest track to overtake on though, so yeah, I'm excited for this actually. All right, here we go. This should be an interesting race. See what sort of start we can get. Gasly on the front row, of course, and we've got, it looks like a decent start compared to those around us. Verstappen's got a good one, unfortunately, but Hamilton, oh, who's that? Bottas down the outside, absolutely flying. Now we can actually lose a position here. We don't want to lose our front wing into the first corner, and that was a little bit too close, but we just about managed to keep everything in one piece, and we lose the place to Bottas, which isn't ideal. But there's a long way to go and plenty of time to get that place back. It looks like Gasly has got himself into P2 as well off the line. Perez has hung on to his pole position as we come up the hill for the first time. And, well, it is close, isn't it? There's no real gaps in the field. Everybody's as they started, more or less. And, yeah, I mean, those qualifying times were ridiculous, weren't they? Really, really close. Now, this is the part of the track where it feels like we have a little bit of an advantage. If we can get a good exit out of the chicane there, maybe not the best. Wow, we've actually not got an advantage there. Look at the Mercedes drive away from us. And what we need to do, of course, is try and stay in DRS range, because this massive long straight that we have coming up here, you get DRS into that. I mean, it really is the only overtaking place on the track now. So the sort of the hairpin at the bottom of the hill, maybe, but I don't think, since they changed the format of the track, it's not really an overtaking position anymore. Let's see what we can do. Perez still holding on to the lead, and it might even be a case of waiting for the pit stops, to be honest. And I've gone too deep, trying to carry too much speed, and that's opened the door for Tsunoda, has it? I should have maybe gone a little bit more aggressive on the defense, but he's still there. We're on the battery, just need to try and out-drag him here up the hill, and he's still on the inside. We can't really cut across, and, well, we take a little bit of speed there, try and come back on the track. It's not really within the rules to do that, but we've got the inside, and that should be job done. It is, but, well, that little battle there, what that has done, you can see up the road. Well, we've certainly bunched things up behind us, but look at the gap now to the Mercedes, 2 seconds more. Well, look at the field behind us. Look at that, it's like a Mazepin train. But what we've managed to get ourselves a little bit of a gap now to Tsunoda with his battle with the Ferrari there of Sainz. But we sort of find ourselves in no man's land, and given that how tight the times are, we've got a lot of work to catch back up to that leading train at this point. But we've broken DRS behind us. I suppose that's one thing. DRS, of course, activated this lap. What we're going to do now is skip ahead to lap 7, because we were sort of racing by ourselves there. You can see the gap to the Mercedes. It's still about the same, 2.2, 2.1. And we're coming in to make our pit stop. All right, well, that wasn't exactly how I was planning that going. The Tsunoda having a go at me really did we lost touch, didn't we? We lost DRS. So now we've just got to try and, I mean, with cars that were very, very even in qualifying. We've got to try and pull back as much time as we can somehow, get back up to the back of that lead train, but still half the race to go. Let's hope the second half is better than the first half. Now, one thing that I've noticed here as we're going to come out into traffic, it looks like, is that Perez came in and before us and is still in the pit lane. So I'm not quite sure what's happened, but we've managed to jump him. And I think I have this realization in a little bit here, but we've got out just ahead of the Williams of George Russell. Perez is behind him. Russell, of course, still on the softs, having not yet stopped, and it's Mazepin in front of him on softs. And it looks like Mick Schumacher as well is still out there, but there's a bit of a gap, as you would expect, ahead of Mazepin. I wonder why George Russell's behind him, actually. Anyway, what we need to do now is get past Mazepin as quickly as possible here. Come on, Nikita, out of the way, please, mate. And he is really we've put him in a bad place here. And, well, you can see there's no way past. Maybe into this chicane is half a chance, but I think we're a little bit too far back. And, well, any chance we had of an undercut, we saw that GASLY, and a little bit wide again, almost came back in front of George Russell. This is killing me, Jeff. Get Nikita out of the friggin' way. Any chance we had of an undercut of those cars in front of us, well, we're losing time now behind Mazepin, and he is just... I mean, he doesn't have to get out of the way. He's not a lap car. Thankfully, he's coming into the pits. But let's see what that's done for us. Hopefully, we haven't lost any places. Tsunoda made a relatively early stop, so we don't have to worry about him, but you can just see Hamilton going through shot there. So Bottas was, of course, the car directly in front of us, and the gap to Hamilton, it looks like, is... Somehow we've jumped Perez. There's me realising that Perez is behind us. But yeah, the gap to Hamilton is almost 4 seconds. And of course, what did I say it was? It was about just over 2 seconds to Bottas before the stop. So that Mazepin lap has potentially really, really hurt us. But we'll see what we can do here. We just got to try and... We'll be as close to Bottas as we can when he comes out of the pits. You would assume he's going to come out behind Hamilton. Hamilton having, of course, the lap on the fresher tyres. I took that nicely, didn't I? Yeah, if we can get into the DRS zone.
In front is 3.8 seconds.
So 3.8 seconds to Hamilton in front. Now he's got Mick Schumacher in front of here. Maybe Mick can do us a bit of a favour here and hold him up for a lap or two. You can see right behind him is Hamilton. Now, given that Mazepin came in the lap before, you do wonder if, and it looks like he has come in, has Mick Schumacher there. So everybody's going to have made their stops.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes' time. Rain in 10 minutes.
Well, if it does rain this race when I haven't got, I sort of haven't strategized for it, I will be annoyed. But Bottas has come out 2.7 seconds on a hard tyre, which is maybe a little bit surprising given how late he's come in. Maybe he didn't have a medium tyre available. Well, anyway, we're going to skip ahead now to the beginning of lap 14. You can see it has become more overcast. You'll also see the gap to Bottas it's still about the same, 2.2 seconds. It's just everybody is roughly doing the same pace, and there's not much I can do, you know. What I don't want to do, of course, is overdrive and lose a position. We are coming 5th. You can see we moved up that position on Perez, so that's all well and good. Tsunoda, I'm not quite sure what's happened to him. He's down there in 10th right now. It's Lance Stroll that's behind Perez behind us. But, yeah, it's just one of these weird races where... Well, not a weird race, but just it's almost like a reality. You know, this happens in real life, doesn't it? Everybody's just doing the same pace. And I'm not doing bad lap times, not by any stretch, but I'm just not making any indent on the cars in front of us. And I think what's helping Bottas on the hard tyre is the fact that he does have Hamilton right there. So he's getting that DRS tow every lap down the straight, which is just keeping him out of our range. You can see 1.7 seconds, 1.6 seconds. We just can't find that last sort of half a second to get within DRS. 2 laps to go now. And I was kind of hoping, which race was it where on the medium tyre my car was it might have even been, was it Jeddah last year?
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Where on the medium tyre I was just so much quicker than Hamilton and GASLY, and I was kind of hoping that might be a similar situation here, but you can see the gap goes back out to 2 seconds, and I think it's this middle sector where I can pull it back, and then over the course of a lap I'm pulling in like a tenth, maybe 2 tenths a lap, but it's just not enough we don't have enough laps, obviously. It's one of these races where it would have been really good, actually, to have it as in a sort of a 50% race distance or even a full race distance. And it would have been one of those sort of epic battles that, you know, it's just a 10th here, a 10th there. Eventually we catch in. Do we have enough pace to overtake? I think it would have been a really, really good race to do as a longer one, but obviously no one has the time to sit here and watch me drive around Imola for an hour and a half. But yeah, you can see we get really close, only 1.3 seconds coming onto the last lap. And of course, this is the last chance for DRS, and you can see down the straight, look, at 1.7.
Final lap of the race.
Bottas gets that DRS toe, and there's just nothing we can do about it. If he didn't have DRS, I wouldn't mind guessing we might have been able to catch him. But he does have DRS, and yeah, I think another 5 laps even, we might have been able to get into DRS at the end of the lap. And I think if that had been the case, maybe we could have got, well, not just Bottas, but Hamilton as well, who's not a mile up the road. And even Verstappen is not that far ahead of Hamilton. But I don't think we would have been able to get Verstappen. But I certainly think the Mercedes they're in touching, they're right there. They're getting ever so slightly closer every lap. But I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to do. I think I hit the wrong button. I think I was trying to go for the battery and hit hit the radio button. But anyway, yeah, you can see we're out of battery. Gasly's won. Hooray for him, just for a change. But there we go. Good race, but a bit of a boring one, really.
Well, we needed about 10 more laps. Good race, I enjoyed that, but...
Race over. Take care of the way in.
The faces on our top 3 look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all.
Look, this is ridiculous. You've got to do something and slow Gasly down. He's going to run away with this otherwise. Well, I'm trying to go faster, but it would just be a lot easier if you could just add some weight to his car or something. Wonder if I could force feed him cheese. Well, there we go. Hooray for Gasly. He wins again. Look at the fastest lap. He did a 14.634. I did a 14.793. So what's that? A 10th and a half of nicking that point off of him. But yeah, I didn't get the greatest start, did I? Bottas mugged me off the start. And then that scrap with Tsunoda just ultimately just cost us. We lost the back of the lead train, and I think we showed at the end there that we were faster than them. But it didn't really matter in the end because we didn't have enough time to make up the gap that we'd lost. So it would have been interesting if it wasn't for the Tsunoda scrap. Could we have got an AVR 1-2 there? Possibly. But anyway, I guess 5th is an improvement on what we did last season here. So in terms of the championship, well, it's Aussie Villain Racing, Red Bull, Aussie Villain Racing. Verstappen has jumped me, and Hamilton is catching up there as well. If we look at the constructors, it's a 16-point gap now to Red Bull. Mercedes appear to be back on form, don't they? AlphaTauri there in 4th, and Ferrari. Well, look, that's only 6 teams that have got points, and everybody else is still scoreless. So that's interesting, isn't it? So there we go. 26 points, though, behind Pierre Gasly already. We could really use with him getting a DNF at some point, couldn't we? And, of course, we've got Monaco and Singapore to come, and if I score any points there at all, it'll be a miracle. So 3 rounds in, it's already starting to look a little bit difficult to see how I can win this Drivers' Championship, but I suppose no one really expected me to, did we? So here we go. We can see the rivalry. It wasn't completely in the bag for me this time, but we've got a nice little 3-point buffer there over Denny Rick, so we'll take that forward, and that will be very nice indeed. And we can see the acclaim and everything goes up. I mean, Gasly, I don't know really how we beat him at this point. Yeah, he's just... That was as close as I've been in terms of lap time, and still, I just couldn't quite get the job done. So that's a big disappointment. I actually have no idea what the next race is. I'm trying to remember. It might even be Monaco, you know, which will be a disaster if it is. But anyway, if you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll be back next time for a mystery race that may or may not be Monaco. Take care.